Welcome back, everybody, to the Nevin Shapiro Show. I'm Mike Tirado. I'm here with Nevin Shapiro, and we're going to get into the post game for you guys. Miami did secure the victory, 42-7 against Stanford. Really, it was a tale of two halves, as you all know, so we will break that down for you guys and go into each half, everything, offense, defense, special teams. We're going to get into it all. But before the video does start, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please click that subscribe button real quick. We are sponsored by K2 Water Hydration. Get your K2 Water Hydration formula at k2waterhydration.com and use code NEVIN10 for your discount. And of course, as we start every show, let's get into the action. Like I said, Miami wins 42-7. This was really a tale of two halves, and that's how I would like to break this episode up. So let's jump into the first half. It was very disappointing for me because I was really going into this game mentally being cup half full and saying to myself, I believe this team will come out and beat the brakes off of Stanford and really right the ship and show the country that we are very much still a team to prove and a playoff caliber team. That didn't happen, and the first half was really, really bad against a very poor opponent. We couldn't get anything going in the first half offensively against Stanford's defense. So I wanted to get your thoughts about Shannon Dawson and his future at Miami.
Well, before I get into Shannon Dawson and his future, let me start with Stanford. When I saw the line come out at 30, I thought to myself, could Miami really be favored by 30 over anybody? So it tells you what Vegas thinks of Stanford, right? And no knock on Stanford, but they just traveled 3,000 miles plus across the country, coming off of an upset against Florida State, which really was their Super Bowl, I would guess. And I expected at least a 17-point lead by half would have been reasonable. And Mike, I got to tell you, when I saw Stanford take the lead 7-0 on us, I just couldn't control myself with what was flooding internally through me. And I brought evidence to support my feelings, but we're going to come to that. I thought it was an absolutely despicable showing coming out. I don't care how the game ended. I know we're going to talk about the second half. It does not make me feel any better. And what I gathered from watching that first half is we're an average team. We're an average team. We have a good chance to still make the playoffs and potentially win the ACC, barring a few things. I think, that ACC is just so bad. Like, Virginia could go down against Cal this week easily. Louisville could very easily lose a game. Georgia Tech, I would say, probably gets there. But we're not in that upper echelon like I thought we were. And I really, you were right. And you took a lot of heat. I'm on this no cursing thing. I have incentive-based plans if I don't curse. And it's very difficult. But I was not. You come off a loss, and, our head coach talks just so tough. We got to get better. No, you got to get better. You got to get better. You show up against a team, you're a 30-point favorite. You got embarrassed, and you had an extra day. Yeah, and, for the fan base, well, we only lost by 3. We were favored by 14 points over Louisville at home. There's no we only lost by 3. That's an embarrassing loss. And it took all the luster out of what I felt was a crazy ride. And I've seen some of the social media comment me. The Louisville fan page posted something about me saying we shouldn't have much of a game. And I got to tell you, I deserve it. I drank the Kool-Aid, Mike. You were so late to the Kool-Aid.
I was scared. I was scared to take it, and I took it really late. And
I really don't have anything to say. We're going to talk about the second half, but I don't have anything to say because I saw what I needed to see. We were scoreless at home against Stanford, Mike. How many guys are in the studio right now? 8? Pick up 3 secretaries in the next office and put those 11 people out total. they could have scored on Stanford. What are we talking about, man?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? We're scoreless at home against Stanford. Piss poor? That's not cursing, is it?
No.
Man, you're piss poor, bro. And you know who I'm talking about. Now, getting into Shannon Dawson. Yeah. I got a lot of comments over the first 5 weeks. Fight for this guy to get a raise.
Shannon Dawson.
Shannon Dawson gets a raise when I get my pardon.
You
got it?
I like that.
My pardon's coming first, Mike. Not his raise. He's got to go. That offense is so pathetic. I brought stats also to prove it.
Yeah.
Malachi Tony, you have a kid who just turned 18. He's the entire offense.
Yep. It reminds me of last year.
He's the entire offense.
If it's last year, if Cam Ward's not on that team, right? And if this year, if Malachi is not on that offense, how it's bad.
Good point, Mike. So let me segue back. I wasn't sure. Was Shannon Dawson the nutty professor last year? The mad scientist? Dial him up. Oh, I know now.
Yeah.
It was Cam Ward, bro.
Yeah.
And any of you people out there that really think, and I said it in the last show, that Mario Cristobal had anything to do with Cam Ward or Shannon Dawson? No. It was a Cam Ward show. We're 7-5 maybe last year.
100%. 3 games easily you'd lose without
Cam
him.
Ward was a magician.
Yep.
And he gets more credit now for me than he did last year. And that's my feelings on the first half. How do you let your team show up? What do they do? Where's their identity? Everyone thinks we have an incredible running game. I brought statistics to show it's not so incredible, Mike.
Yeah.
Do we have a big offensive line? Yeah. Francis Magoa should be a high first-round pick. Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to answer all your stuff. I know you have a lot for me, and I'm ready to defend myself and my position. But I drank the Kool-Aid, people.
Yeah.
And I'm spitting that stuff out, man.
I'm going to get in. I know you have some things to talk about, but I do want to ask you this real quick. This is a little off topic. What were your thoughts about the camo uniforms?
I didn't like them.
Yeah.
Listen, the cause.
Yeah, no. Shout out to all our military members.
You know, the cause is the cause. You never look.
No, the cause is, you know.
I couldn't see who was who and what was what, and I don't even know what I was watching.
Yeah.
It's not our thing.
Yeah, no, of course. Anybody who served, we salute you. Appreciate you guys for your service. But those uniforms was not.
This isn't
definitely
a service
not
thing. This is a uniform thing.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, no.
Let's retire those.
Yeah. Before I jump into the second half, I know you have some things you want to talk about.
Yeah.
So, fire away.
Okay. So, for everyone out there, like, there's like a love-hate situation. You have your defenders of Mario, and then you have your people that I think are really starting to see what it really is. So, I pulled out my Phil Steele. Now, of course, you got 24/7 and this and that, but I want this. Okay, so Phil Steele had his top 100 players at each position, right? Incoming freshmen. So these are the guys that I pulled up. Luke Nickel, Gerard Pringle, Josh Moore, Dalen Upshaw, 2 receivers. 2 tight ends, Brock Schott, Luka Gilbert. 2 offense linemen, S.J. Olafatuli, Max Buchanan. D-line, Hayden Lowe, Herbert Scroggins, linebacker Ezekiel Marcelin, DBs, Bryce Fitzgerald, Jabari Antoine, Chris Ewald, Amari Wallace. Interestingly enough, Malachi Tony was not one of the names mentioned. Okay, so I had you run a little stat check on like what's the purpose of getting a top 5 recruiting class if you don't see them?
Yeah.
What's the purpose? And I'm looking at our depth chart and who's played what. So from what stands out to me, there's only 2 players that I can even speak on. Okay. Gerard Pringle may be amazing at some point. Maybe. Except he's got 10 carries for 60 yards for the year. 3 touchdowns. All garbage time. Right? Josh Moore, 10 catches, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that was all in one game, really, the 2 touchdowns. And the tight ends combined 4 catches. But meanwhile, Elijah Lofton, who's supposed to be our all-world guy, and when Larry Bluestein made the comment that this kid doesn't see the ball, and if he continues, he's going to be gone. And then he took a lot of heat from people. Seems like he's spot on, since Elijah Lofton's got 11 grabs for the year. The only guy that's done anything from the freshman spot, Josh Moore, 2 touchdowns. Bryce Fitzgerald, 6 tackles, 3 interceptions on the season. Where's our freshman? Where's that top 5 recruiting class? He's the best recruiter. What about developer?
Mm-hmm.
He's a great recruiter. Great. Put him on the shelf and let's see what happens next year. Half of them will be gone. Right? Now, jumping back, remember I made the comment, Mike, about Miami just might as well stay in the portal business for quarterbacks? I took heat. Some people agreed. Some people didn't like it. And, of course, it's only an opinion. I don't know more than maybe someone else who has that same opinion or doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell you something. C.J. Bailey's a done deal. Okay? I'm being a done deal. He's coming to Miami. Okay, so what does that do to Darian Coleman? Luke Nickel. Do you think both of them will be here?
No
Or
chance.
either, for that matter. I assume they're going after C.J. Bailey. He's proven. They're going to try to pull Jeremiah Smith, which potentially he could be a back-to-back national champion. Would he now come back to Miami after being potentially at least a one-time national champion, maybe 2 if they were to go back-to-back? I'm not saying they are, but they're the presumable favorite at this point. And I think they would have to try to do that to keep JoJo Trader, because otherwise he's gone. And I cannot see him going. Oh, staying. But if they pulled his guy from high school, maybe that's part of the play. But I'm being told C.J. Bailey is a Miami Hurricane next year. People can, this and that. I don't know who everyone else talks to. I know who I speak to. Okay. Elijah Lofton next year. He back? I don't know. He has been absent. Is that him or Shannon Dawson? I'm going to say it's Shannon Dawson.
Yep.
Okay. So those are my thoughts about our inbound freshmen. And I'd like to cover the gamut, right? So, like, it's a little bit of a state of the union, but I just think that, like, someone needs to be checking all this stuff for the fan base. And maybe I'm not the most lovable person to share it, but we do have our fans that know I know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. I'd like to bring up something else. So, November 17, 2021, I did an interview with Dan Wetzel. At the time, he was with Yahoo Sports, and now he's with ESPN. And I said, and you can Google it for edification, Lane Kiffin was the top choice from all former players, a majority of former players. Okay? And everyone's like, oh, this guy's been gone for 10 years. He doesn't know this. He doesn't know that. Okay. How's that one looking? As they hired Mario Cristobal 13, 14, 20 days later. How's that looking? Well, let me tell you how it's looking. Lane Kiffin is, I believe, 55. I put down, 51-19 is Lane Kiffin's record. And that's with a 5-5 first-year start. He inherited whatever he inherited at Ole Miss. If Mario says he inherited from Manny Diaz, well, Lane Kiffin inherited whatever he inherited. 51-19. He's about to win 10 games. Would we agree? Mm-hmm. He'll win 10 games this year,
yeah.
Right? He's 8-0 or 8-1. Okay.
Yeah.
4 10-win seasons
in the SEC.
In the SEC.
Yep.
4 10-win seasons in the SEC. And he's about to become the highest-paid coach in college football. You guys want Mario Cristobal. So when Lane Kiffin said Mario is a phys ed coach, I believe him.
What about your assessment of all the coaches combined? Kirk Cignetti, Brent Key.
I'm glad you asked, Mike. Let me go into it. Brian Kelly, 34-14 after 3.5 years and fired yesterday. Less than 4 years. Mario, 28-17 in the ACC. Brian Kelly gone. Rhett Lashley, 34-14 in 3.5 years. Same record as Brian Kelly. With an ACC championship appearance.
And a playoff berth.
Thank you. Kirk Cignetti. Could you tell me, and I know you're number one on the fan club.
Yep.
Could you tell me that Indiana is a bigger struggle? Is not a bigger struggle than Miami? To get them back? This guy's working on culture. By the time he's done with his culture, they'll be speaking a new language. Okay? 19-2 in 2 years, Mike, at Indiana.
It's incredible.
At Indiana.
It's insane.
Okay. I mean, I hate to give you guys facts. Clark Lee, 23-34. Who's Clark Lee? The head coach at Vanderbilt. He's got a losing record, 23-34. He's in his 5th year. Vanderbilt's ranked 9th. They're the doormat of the SEC's history. And they're in the SEC race. Vanderbilt's is not a harder situation than Miami.
They haven't been that good since, what, 1942?
I'm not done. Brent Key, 26-16 in his 4th year with Georgia Tech. Ranked 7 and has served Mario Cristobal his lunch twice. And then let's not forget Manny Diaz, who was let go in 3 years, 21-15. You got my point? Someone dispute that. Oh, he's recruited. He sucks.
Listen.
And by the way, while we're on the coaching thing, Eli Drinkwitz is going to Florida, and Lane Kiffin is not. He's staying at Ole Miss. And if he doesn't, the only job I could ever see that guy taking is Alabama down the road. LSU would be a great spot for him, too, but how many jobs can you offer the guy?
I know.
We should have grabbed him when it was hot. And he would have walked over from FAU.
Yeah, he would have. And
someone dispute what I just said. One person.
Yep.
One person. And listen, if you're going to comment, put your name and your number and your contact and DM us and come on the show and sit down and let's have a conversation.
Yeah, you know how big I am on Kirk Cignetti. What he's done at that program is
he's one of
incredible
6 guys I just mentioned.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And all that being said, Mike, we can still make the playoffs and we can still win the ACC. But really, let me tell you what that equals. Even though we haven't done it, let me tell you what that's like being the smartest kid in summer school. Okay? You're not really getting a big prize. You're just the smartest kid of a bunch of dummies. The ACC's trash.
It is. Especially this year without Clemson being involved and Florida State's terrible. I mean, this is...
How many passes do you need?
Yeah.
What's enough, Mike?
The big brands are not playing well.
You're always putting the iron in my face. So here, I got one for you.
Okay.
We lose to SMU.
Okay.
Or we lose to Pittsburgh. We don't make the ACC championship game. We make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we could with 2 losses in that garbage conference.
Yeah.
Because now we would be behind 2 other teams in the ACC.
I don't think we would, but let's just say we would.
We make the playoffs. We don't make the ACC championship game, but we what do you say about Mario?
Well, for me, it's unacceptable. For you being your 4th year to not even make an appearance yet. Last year was the year to make the appearance with Cam, regardless of the outcome. You got again, like you said, ACC is garbage. It's terrible. Everyone knows I've taken my heat preseason for my 8-4 record that I came out and said. And do I think they're going to go 8-4? I don't think they're going to go 8-4. I still think 10-2, 9-3 is a potential in play. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's definitely a potential. If Mario Cristobal loses another game, the rest of the season is meaningless. And
this SMU game's the whole season.
Yeah.
Yes.
And mentally for the player, that puts you in a position to start quitting. Right? You've seen it with Florida State. They realized that their season was over. They played Stanford and lost. They know there's nothing left to play for. If you lose one more game, there's nothing left to play for. The kids know that, and they're going to start playing that way. This game is very mental, as we know. So, and I've said it before. Sometimes it's not even the fans' fault because they don't hear what we hear. They don't hear the behind-the-scenes stuff about Mario, about the staff, about the players that we hear, and they think, oh, we're just talking, shit because Nevin is with the scandal. We hear a lot of stuff that people don't hear, so I can't put all the blame on the fan base because, again, they're just speculating from a fan perspective. We're more on the inside of everything at this point. And what the whole prognostication of 8-4 was not our talent, and I've said it 100 times. Our talent's incredible, but does Mario Cristobal get what he needs out of the talent that he has? When you look at a coach, you look at what their average players are. Kirk Signetti, right? Does he get more out of his players or less? He gets more, right? Does Mario Cristobal get more out of his players or less? I would say he gets less out of his players.
My biggest issue with this guy, truthfully, is he's just not. He's focused on other things outside of football, which I'm going to talk about in a separate moment later. Petty type stuff.
Yeah. Let's get back into the action. Yeah. So we could wrap up this episode here. But, okay, I want to ask you this question. Obviously, Stanford is not a legitimate opponent, right? In the realm of looking towards the college football playoff. For 30 minutes, this game was completely played down to their competition. They did not look like a team fired up going into this game against an unranked opponent. Going into the rest of the season, where is your confidence level that we are going to win out and make the playoff?
It was very high when I said book your trips to Charlotte. And this guy just regressed into who he is, man, which is a very average coach. That's it, people. I'm not being a hater. I'm being honest. I had a great relationship with Mario for a long time, back when, right? You know the history of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to air it out here. I went to bat really hard for that guy with President Shalala when Randy Shannon wanted him gone. And that happened, by the way. I just think there's no humility with him. He's about 80 million now. He's changed. He's not the same guy he used to be. He's not. And anyone can tell you that. Former players, coaches, whatever. I speak to enough of them, like over 100 of them, right? No one will come out and parade that because no one wants to lose their perks. As one person just recently found out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll talk about that separate. But, yeah, I'm not confident like I was. I'll tell you this, Mike. We're going to get had if we do make the playoffs because I've seen enough about what I've seen. I've seen enough. We don't have a real identity. This offensive line was supposed to be all world, and I thought we were really mature. They had me convinced, man. They had me convinced. Not convinced because I thought they were world beaters. I thought they got past the hardest part of the gauntlet, and now the rest should be clear sailing. Their whole season's on the line Saturday. If they should lose, they're favored by 10. If they should lose, you may be coming in here to talk to an empty seat because I don't think I have to say anything.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
There would be nothing really to talk about.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And just stand on what you preach. Remember when he was talking about the trajectory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the program?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you this, Nev. There's been a question on our social media platforms that have been circling this whole past week.
Yeah.
And I've seen it from a lot of different people, so I figured I'd bring it up. The week before the Louisville game.
Yeah.
You came out and said that you believe Mario Cristobal is the coach for this program and that he deserves an extension.
Yeah.
Then after we lost to Louisville, some fans felt that you went extremely hard at him for that loss. So to clear it up for everybody, currently, what is your stance on Mario Cristobal and our program going forward?
So that is a very exact response from the people who watch our show.
Right.
They're right. I was very much drinking the Kool-Aid at 5-0. I loved what I saw as far as us going on the road, finally getting a win in big fashion, even though we sort of choked out the fourth quarter. but we showed up and did what we had to do. I really felt that this guy was perfect for this specific brand, being the University of Miami. We're our own brand. We're not like the rest of the country. We're just not. As a fan base, as a city, like, we're special, right? And I thought, like, you know what? He's never going to be an all-world coach, but he's the perfect guy. What I saw against Louisville, for one, and it's not just one loss, but what he did behind the scenes to Willis McGahee, which I'm going to get into, denying Willis McGahee access to the field, shows me this guy's on some petty time, and he's not about X's and O's. Why is he worrying about that and not Louisville? Can you tell me that? And I'm going to get into this separately. It's not going to be on this show. It's going to be today, but it's not going to be on this show. When I saw that, that was it. This guy is a first-rate choke artist. And a joke of a head coach for this program. I retract what I said. I retract it. And I was wrong. You know, when you're wrong, you're wrong. You just say it. I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy morphed back to who he was. And well, and do I have a story for you guys? And for all you, oh, he's lying. No. Documented with an attorney present Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. Yeah, I'm the IRS for this program, people. Make your comments, appreciate me or don't. But I'm going to audit this guy for you people. Me. That's who.
I love it. So the one thing I do want to have on
we have to get better. You have to get better.
Yeah, it's true. One thing I do want to give flowers to is our DC. Even last game, he had given up the initial 14 and held Louisville to 10. And this game, they gave up the initial 7 and pitched the shutout.
Okay, if you want to give him flowers, give him flowers.
Yeah, no, he's the defense has not been the issue.
Mike,
hasn't been the issue.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
If I speak out with regards to our head coach,
yeah,
does that make me a hater, or am I really just being honest? Brian Kelly just got fired. LSU's a machine, right? They've been a lot more dominant than we have over the last 20-something years.
Of course.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. If he can take criticism and get yoked, why can't this guy? Because he's got protectors around him. That's how he positions. Like these podcast guys, I don't even want to mention their name again. They protect him. No one's going to ever see the bad. What is it? What is it? If we don't, I'm telling you, Mike, if we go down in one of these last few games, the only one I guess it could be SMU or Pitt. We're not going to lose to Virginia Tech, could we possibly? NC State, I don't know. After watching that against Stanford, what changes my mind, people? That. How are you locked up with Stanford at home, coming off a loss? If you were really, really pissed off as a coach, listen, we choked. You're going to get maximum effort that following week.
Mm-hmm.
Are you not?
Yep.
You're going to come down and run the ball. Boom, boom. But like, fellas, we're not looking to cover 30. We're looking to make a statement early. We're going down the field and we're getting 7 points.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And in our conversation, you had given me a really good girlfriend analogy. I want you to mention that on our show.
Can you remind me? You know, I'm like in early stages of Alzheimer's.
You said, if you really love your girlfriend, right, and you've been dating her a while, then you go to her house and you bring her flowers because you love her so much and you want to go on a date with her that night, and you open the door and she's in the house with another man. Do you have a reason to change your mind about that woman?
I just wanted to hear you give my
I really like that because really, it makes a lot of sense. Like you love her,
right, people,
and then you
Mike
walk in.
So Mike says to me yesterday, we don't script this.
Yeah.
Right? We don't script this. You know me. I'm like a character, but like I'm a nutty professor. I just answer on the fly. And Mike said to me, he goes, people really want to know, how did you change position so fast on Mario? I go, okay, well, here, Mike, if you're in love with a girl, she's really serving it up to you. It's amazing. And then you go to her house, you're just excited. You want to surprise her, and you walk in and she's there with another guy. Do you change your opinion, how much you love her?
Yep.
That's how I feel about Mario.
Yep.
I changed my opinion. I don't love him anymore.
I love it. I thought it was a great analogy. I said, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. So
how come our camera guys are laughing?
Yeah, they love it. They're loving it. They're loving it. All right. So let's wrap up with 2 questions. Okay. What are your thoughts on the buyouts in college football reaching $169 million already this year? Do you foresee a different contractual structure going forward?
Well, I'm going to give you a 2-part answer. Yes. And how great would it be to be a fired coach?
Oh, I've said it. It's the best.
Don't go to work.
I know.
That's amazing.
It's the only job in America where you either perform or don't, and you still get paid. It's almost worth it not to perform, because then you get paid to do nothing and go do whatever you want with your family or whatever.
I promise you, if I wasn't in my legal situation, I would put together the group to get this guy out of here. By lunch.
Yeah, I understand. All right, last question for you. Is the University of Miami going to win out on their schedule to have a chance to make the playoffs?
I mean, I so bad want to say yes. You got the X factor. You know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to let everyone else answer that same question. I'm not answering it.
Okay.
Everyone else has the same opinion as me. You want to drink the Kool-Aid.
For a lot of years, Nevin, I know you've asked me that question, Mike, why were you so hard on him preseason? Why were you so late to the Kool-Aid? It's almost like for so many years, you could put any analogy. Your parents have told you no for 10 years on a specific thing you want to do. No, every year. No, every year. No. What makes you think the next year they're going to say yes? It's like, I've been scarred. I've been beat up for 20 years as a fan. What makes you think the following year they're going to be anything more than what they've been? You had the greatest number 1 pick in the NFL draft, and you couldn't even make the ACC.
Yeah.
What
I understand.
What is that? I've just been scarred, man. It's not that I don't love the program. How could I have said preseason we're going undefeated?
Let me chime in.
Yeah.
On the heels of your response, and this is for whoever's watching us, right? I know we have a following, and even the people that really hate me, maybe deep down they're watching because they know I really do know what I'm talking about, right? The reason why I've lost so much luster in such short time is because I know at my core, we're not that program. Not this season. I thought we were heading into that Louisville game. And when I made the comments that this is a game we should handle easily, not only did I think that, but Las Vegas thought so also. All right? And that's for the Louisville fan base who ragged me. And I deserved it, honestly. Right? So I can't win with either fan base, mine or theirs. I just can't win. But that showed me we're very average. Can we make the playoffs? We can. We would get murdered in the SEC. I asked you that 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. We would get, but they have 9 teams in the SEC in the top 25. Okay. And I could tell you maybe we could beat 2 of them on the road. Maybe at home we could do some things. If we played those 9 teams on the road, I say we go 3-6. Maybe 4-5. Tennessee would house us. Georgia on the road, they would house us. Alabama, they would house us. I'm talking on the road. At home, we'd have a fighting chance against some or most. But we get beat down on the road. And that's really truth, how I feel. So I saw us as a very average team. We came back to life in my eyes. This won't be a special year. Maybe we make the playoffs. and maybe we get lucky enough to sneak back into the ACC championship. But we're not going to do damage.
Yeah.
And that's really how I feel.
Not with the way the offense is playing and everything.
That offense is trash.
Yeah, it's the play calling.
It's trash.
It's so bad.
Defense, the high point of the season.
I know, which is crazy. That's one of the shocking things.
Yeah, that's truth, man. Carson Beck's average. I know Miami fans want to put him in the Heisman campaign with 11 touchdowns and 7 interceptions heading into this past game. I don't know what he did exactly, but those were his stats.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And should have been picked twice. That I saw a guy drop the ball twice.
Right.
Like on a.
Yeah, right there. Yep. All right, Nev. Well, guys, if you are not subscribed yet to our channel, please click that subscribe button before you leave. And of course, as always, we'll catch you on the next one.